This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome on another live safari experience, and as the sun starts to break through the clouds, the wonders of the African bush await. This is Safari Live.
Ready. Standing by.
Five, four, three, two, one. You are live, you are live.
Hello and welcome on a sunset safari. My name is Jamie, and this afternoon I have Downpour Dave on camera with me. Downpour Dave, of course, because he predicted the exact date of our first big rains. If you are joining us from the first time, this is a live safari experience that goes on for the next 3 or so hours for now. I'll explain a bit more in a moment. And we're coming to you from the middle of Djuma Arathusa and Cheetah Plains Game Reserve in the Sabi Sand in the Greater Kruger National Park area of South Africa. And because it's live, you never know exactly what to expect. This morning, for example, on our sunrise safari, Dave and I were taken completely by surprise. Lou was taken by surprise. Tingana was taken by surprise. And so were all of you watching across the globe, as he wandered casually through the bush only to be raced at by a lioness and chased up a marula tree. I am talking about a dominant male leopard. Then when we thought things couldn't get any stranger, this is all live, by the way, I mean, this is happening right in front of us, the lioness disappeared. He started coming down the tree, and his lady friend Shadow decided to arrive, decided that she wanted to flirt with him. He was having none of it, and raced off in the opposite direction, leaving one very confused and very rejected-looking leopardess. All exciting and all happening here, and it also means that you can send through your questions on #SafariLive on Twitter, or please email through to questions@wildearth.tv. Let us know your thoughts, feelings about the African bush, ideally. I mean, not that this isn't a wonderful opportunity to let your thoughts and feelings out, but I won't be entirely sure what to do with them. So on the sort of general subject of wildlife and conservation, perhaps. Yes, I think we'll keep it to that. But I hope you're all having a wonderful day and that you're looking forward to the safari ahead. We are going to go and find the lioness responsible for chasing Tingana up the tree, along with her 2 male lion consorts. We'll go and have a look and see whether they're still around that buffalo kill. Tingana, unfortunately, along with Shadow, because she just follows behind him, is on Simbambili, which is most unfortunate. As you can see, Rusty's working perfectly. For those of you who are watching the sunrise safari, because it's live, sometimes things go wrong, and Rusty's key wouldn't turn this morning. But it turns fine now. Just one of those things. And I do hope you're all hearing me better. It seems to be working okay. Is it working okay? Sounding better, Dave? Magic. Connor, you are a legend. What did you describe it as, Dave? A Frankenstein fix. So my mic is currently the equivalent of Frankenstein's monster, put together from all kinds of different bits. Seems to be working. It's alive. What else was I going to tell you? I was going to tell you something interesting. Oh, I remember now. So the reason I said that we would be out for the next 3 hours, but only for today, is of course we have many, many exciting things planned. Most of you by now are up to date, but for our new viewers, things are happening here at Safari Live, exciting things. James is currently in the Mara. If you're new to the show, you've never met James. You want to, trust me. James is in the Mara, and we will be doing a special extended broadcasts from tomorrow all the way for as long as possible. Basically, we have to go home at 10:30 at night because that's when curfew starts. We have to go home, but there is a possibility of James continuing into the night on the Great Plains of Kenya and Kenya actually, not Tanzania, the Mara Triangle. I hope you're all as excited as I am. We're going to be doing all kinds of new things. I've got infrared lights set up everywhere. So our tech team and our camera department have worked some of their magic. I watched, and I cable tied something, which I feel was a great contribution. And of course, now that the sun is coming out, we get to enjoy a beautiful, somewhat cool afternoon, which was, 21 degrees centigrade, which is 71. Hello, kudu. There we go, starting off with our first mammal, a delightful female kudu. The African bush, of course, is teeming with life. You just have to know where to find it. Sometimes we don't know where to find it, but there's always something happening and always something to look at. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? Those massive ears. Looking a great deal drier than most of our animals were this morning. They were a bit soggy after 2 days of drizzle. And I'm sure rejoicing in the fact that in the next day or so, there's going to be fresh green shoots to feed upon. That must be terribly exciting for them. I'm not sure if they realize it or not, or if perhaps it will come as a happy surprise. Either way, we know, and we are thrilled. And of course, if you look at one kudu, and you spend time looking at one kudu, there's always another few hiding about in the bushes behind it. So there's another kudu at the back there. Graceful, athletic creatures. Beautiful. And of course the birds have all been exceptionally vocal since the rainfall. I feel as though every bird I drive past is singing away in happiness, or perhaps singing away trying to let all other males that the female he's trying to court is his and only his, or perhaps that it's their territory. The birds are coming into their breeding season. We've seen a few nest building birds. That was a complicated sentence. I'm trying to look for one for you now, but I haven't managed. Okay, let's continue on towards those lions. And while we trundle along, and Taylor is just dying to say good afternoon to you all, along with Eggsy, her cameraman. So let's jump on the back of Wendy.
Good afternoon, all you wonderful viewers at home. My name is Taylor, and on camera this afternoon we've got Eggsy. There he is. So I don't know if some of you have been following since yesterday and our lovely downpour that we've had. We've decided to take still images of a specific area on quarantined open area so we can document the change of the lovely green growth that hopefully will come through in the next few days. So we're going to have a quick look. We're going to try and get exactly the same shot as what we had yesterday. You take a screenshot of that, everybody. And I can hear it snapping away, so that must mean that you're done. And now we're going to zoom into the termite mound, where we also want to do a close-up. All right, everyone, we're going to take another screenshot. Fantastic. Everybody got that? And hopefully over the next few days we're really going to see a dramatic change. I hope I've chosen a good spot, so I look forward to seeing some of those screenshots a little bit later. Remember, we are live, everybody, so if you would like to interact with us, myself and Jamie, of course, you're welcome to either hashtag Safari Live on Twitter, or you can email us at questions@wildearth.tv. Now, our plan this afternoon is a little bit different. I'm feeling quite confident on Duma, so I think I'm going to venture towards Cheetah Plains. Now, I've never been to Cheetah Plains before, so it's going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to have to rely on using my GPS this afternoon to make sure that I don't end up in the Kruger National Park. We don't want that. Right, so let's start slowly making our way there. And oh, hang on, we've got a little go-away bird before we go anywhere. Oh, quite nicely enjoying the sun. You can already see it sitting on the top right. Here we go. Now, this is the first sun we've had, everybody, for 2 days. So, like Jamie said earlier, the birds are very happy, all warming themselves up again. And hopefully with this warm weather, now, I think some of you think I'm going to be crazy by saying this, but I'm hoping that it's going to bring a few insects around, and that will make the birds even happier. And it's also going to make it a lot more interesting for Jamie and I when we start with our night drives tomorrow evening. So I hope you're all excited about that. You can see this go-away bird is just grooming itself, just checking to see if there's any feathers that are about to fall out, that I can give them a helping hand and actually pull them out. But not today. We saw it with a vulture this morning where one was actually pulling out the old feathers. Were quite a few birds on this tree though. I'm going to go roll a little bit, not roll, I have to start my engine. Go a little bit further there. We've even got a hornbill. And I think this hornbill is possibly, sounds like it's calling. Let's see if we can get a better view. Maybe not. I don't know if you can see it up and through the trees over there. There you go, hiding away. That is a yellow-billed hornbill. Also all fluffed up, but not fluffed up, I think, because it's cold. I think because they're excited that the lovely warm weather is slowly starting to come back. And that's going to create some amazing sightings. I'm looking forward to seeing all the frogs in the different pans and the terrapins, as well as hopefully the tortoises are going to come out and join us too. You done talking? It seems that way. So this looks like a male, and you can hear him. I don't know if you can hear him in the distance. Sort of. I don't know if I'm a very good hornbill. I don't think he's responding to me, I'm afraid. There you go. Opening their wings slowly. It's quite impressive when they do their full call and they arch their backs and open their wings. Let's just sit here for a moment, and possibly this hornbill does it for us. Come on. It's just teasing us. Oh. Hello. No. No, not going to do the call, I'm afraid. Oh no, it wants to. It was a bit like how that lion was teasing us this morning. So if anybody has just started watching or missed the show this morning, hopefully you got to see some of the highlights. But we are very fortunate to start the morning off with a big male lion roaring. Actually, while we're here in quarantine, maybe we should just see if he's actually still around. I forgot that we left him over here. Let's do a quick loop, everybody, just before we head to Cheetah Plains, and see if he's possibly not just still laying in the same spot. It won't take us but a few moments to get to where he was. Let's go around. And it's quite nice. It's quite nice though that it isn't too windy today. Getting whispers in my ears, everybody. So we're just having a little look just to see if that male lion, Blondie as I believe he's known as, a very pretty looking lion, is perhaps still lying in the same spot as we left him. Maybe I must turn my game drive radio on just to see if anybody has found him. No, nothing yet. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel as though the ground is looking a little bit greener already. But I think that's my mind playing tricks on me and actually wanting it to look like that. But this open area hopefully will be filled with lovely green grass. And with that, it should bring lots of zebra, lots of warthogs, big herds of impala, and anything else that's wanting to nibble on the nice green shoots. Haven't got anything just yet. Might have to go a little bit further west just to check the outskirts of this open area. Wait, a little bit bumpy over here, everyone. I'm already starting to see a few butterflies coming out. Or maybe this afternoon we'll get one or two that will sit in a nice spot and we can actually have a look at some butterflies. Something a little bit different. That's what I'm actually really excited about. As much as I love the big cats, I quite enjoy the small creatures too. No, still can't see him. Let's head over to Jamie and see if she's managed to find the lions that we had earlier this morning.
Did manage to find the lions that you had earlier this morning. However, I got a radio call from Rexon that has changed my plan slightly. Now, we're not going to those lions just yet, although we will, I promise. We're going to a different group of lions on Twin Dams that hopefully, everybody keep your fingers crossed, are A, still there, and B, with all of the little Nkuhuma cubs. And once we get there, we can chat a little bit more about things that are happening with the various lion prides on this reserve. Now that's where we're heading for the moment. That is my plan. Let us go and see what we can find there. So after all that, I've trundled all the way there. I'm now back where I started. You are quite literally back exactly where you started the sunset safari on Philemon's Dip. And the sky is very beautiful this afternoon. I'm not stopping though, unfortunately. Sorry, you'll have to look on the fly. It is very, very pretty. Sun starting to stream through, nice and balmy and warm. So excited. And Baby Gnu, you wanted to know if I could explain a little bit about why we have a curfew. Yes, with pleasure, I can explain it. Something that is actually quite foreign to me. This is the first place, not that it's a bad thing, not criticizing it at all. It's the first place I've ever worked in where I've had a curfew, and unfortunately most reserves are now having to go down that route, and it's mainly due to rhino poaching. So anti-poaching teams want to know that if in the middle of the night, which is of course when most poaching incidents happen, they are trundling along and they see a vehicle that's there, they'd want to know that it's not meant to be there, not some staff. They don't want to waste time, resources, following up a group of staff that are driving along. They've just been to a party or something and are coming back at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's a waste of their time and resources, and it just allows them to maintain better control of the area. So that is why we have a curfew, and I can't go into major detail about the first go. I don't know most of the details, and second of all, I wouldn't tell you even if I did, because that's the way that things work out here. And it's important that they are allowed to continue the incredible work that they do unhindered, and to go about protecting our wonderful, wonderful creatures. Obviously, as you know, we don't show rhino on our shows, and that is so as it's basically Wild Earth taking a stand against the poaching problem that has struck South Africa and the rest of Africa. And in South Africa in particular, it is particularly prevalent. There's happy news though. Rhino poaching has gone down 18% in the last year, which is really wonderful to hear. That's not good enough, of course, but it's a start. It is a start. The seriously concerted efforts of a lot of amazing organizations and a lot of amazing individuals. Okie dokie. Right, I don't know where they are exactly. They're on Twin Dams, and Rexon said just past the slippery bit. Just past the slippery bit. Pretty sure I'll figure it out though. I think I know exactly where he means. But when he says just past the slippery bit, I'm not sure if he's saying north or south. Good morning, Wahlbergs. Or afternoon, sorry, it's afternoon. Is anybody home? Yes, I think somebody is home. Oh dear. I think somebody is home, but I think somebody is so flat in that nest that I actually can't see it. I did see a tail sticking out as I drove down, with the advantage of a little bit of height. So there is an eagle in there. It's our nesting pair of Wahlberg's eagle, Wally and Wendy. I don't know where that came from. Perhaps we should choose slightly more awe-inspiring names. We have two pale Wahlberg's eagles that live in that nest. Okay, let's go to the lions. Since we can't see anybody home, there is somebody. I'll try from a slightly different perspective as we go along. No. Unfortunately not. Okie, while I focus on figuring out where it is, this particular sighting, and where the lions are, let's head back to Taylor and find out how she's doing.
Hello again. So I had a quick little loop around on quarantine and I can't see any sign of that male lion. So I think he has possibly moved off and further down into the drainage line. I didn't see any tracks coming out either. So we'll carry on. We're going to try and make our way towards Cheetah Plains. Hopefully we won't get lost along the way. So please do excuse me if you do see me whipping out my mobile phone just to have a look. That's where my maps are. And I'm going to need it very much so today. We're going to go and navigate an area that I've never driven before. So we're slowly making our way down there. Let's go this way. But basically I've been told I sort of need to get onto Gowrie Main and then go east from there. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Maybe we will even then, if in case we're actually going to go past those lines we had earlier this morning, maybe we'll just have a look and see if we can't get a better view of that male lion that we've seen has had the abscess or whatever it may be burst and has had the maggots actually eating away. It'll be nice. We weren't able to get a shot of him this morning because he was laying with his face down on the ground. So that might be something just to follow and just to see how he's doing. But I won't elaborate too much about what I found out about myiasis. I will save that. Hopefully we'll see them. I don't think they would have moved either. There was still quite a bit of flesh on that buffalo calf. And I don't think they would get up and move, otherwise they will lose their kill to the vultures and the hyenas, of course. Always good just to have a look at those lions, get your daily cat dose, and hopefully we're able to get your daily cub dose today too. Won't that be exciting? Lots of birds chatting away this afternoon. There. Nothing in this drainage line, no leopards. Whoop, whoop, bumpy. Maybe we even see some more zebra today. I've been quite enjoying the zebra. There seems to be some nice herds here on Djuma. We'll be on the lookout for them. And I didn't get to see any elephants yesterday. I just got to hear them. And then they avoided me for the entire afternoon. So we'll be definitely trying to find some elephants. Yeah, there's a little bird. Can you see that little bird sitting on that dead tree over there? Don't fly away. It looks like a chin spot batis. Maybe you can you see it? Oh, and of course it's gone now. Wonderful, everybody. That was a chin spot batis. Another one to add to your list. The birds are not behaving very kindly. But we'll just pick up the pace just a little bit while we've got this nice big row. just so we can try and get to... Oh, hang on, wait, we've got some wax bills. Can you get all of these little wax bills? There's some on the tree. Maybe the ones on the ground will be a bit better by all that elephant dung. Can you see them moving down there? There they are. So those are blue wax bills. You often just hear them chattering away in the distance. It's not always that they sit so still that you're able to put a camera on them. So this is quite nice, a nice little one to see. And you can quite clearly see where they get their name from. Look at that lovely blue plumage that they've got on their underside. That's lovely, all pecking on the ground, trying to pick up grass seeds. And something that I love, and that you may remember James talking about while he's been in the tent, and I think Jamie also spoke about the waxbill nest that we managed to find. I think it was blown out of the tree. We wouldn't just remove a waxbill nest from a tree. That's not very nice. So I presume it was blown out of the tree and then left on the ground, and we obviously made use of it. Now, it's quite interesting how they use all the bits of grass and they weave it all together. Or there's another one, and they make a lovely nest out of that, and it's quite soft as well. I love the blue waxbill nests. Maybe we'll even see some in some trees today. There's actually quite a few around at the moment, and they're just pottering along with their day. There were quite a few of them. There must have been about 15 or 20 of them. We can just see 3 at the moment hopping around on there. And if we go to the right, can you see the buffalo weavers, the red-billed buffalo weavers on the other side of the road, just in front of that marula tree? There they are. So we have a pair of red-billed buffalo weavers. Also very easy to identify because of those red bills, and those white spots are quite a nice identifying feature too. And they've also come down and hope to find something to eat. And I'm sure that most of you have seen plenty buffalo weaver nests. So as we drive along today, we're definitely going to be stopping around and hopefully having a little look at some of the watering holes just to see how much water is left. You'll be surprised as to how quickly that water is going to subside. So I'm also hoping for the hot weather, not only for the insects and the tortoises and the other reptiles that should come out, but also to start seeing things like the buffalo and the elephants all having a grand old time in those mud wallows. Lovely. Daniel, the first bird that we were looking at was in fact a blue waxbill, and we'll have another look at them. So blue waxbill. We're going to go back and pan onto them now. Where are you? There they are. There's one. Lovely little birds. Oh, goodness, how quickly did that one move? I don't know if it was a bit of the wind that was helping it. Almost looked like it got blown away there. Quick little birds. Look how they're hopping. That's pretty amazing how quickly they can do that. So they're jumping around. They're not walking. That's super impressive. I think that's a lot more effective way to feed versus the way that the... Oh, what bird am I looking at? Sorry, the buffalo weavers, they tend to walk, whereas these chaps are hopping around quite vigorously, covering a lot of ground very quickly. Very nice. Well, we'll keep an eye out for waxbill nests as well as the buffalo weaver's nests, just so that we can show you and put 2 and 2 together. But I think we're going to carry on now and try and have a quick little pit stop. Oh, no. Right, we're going to try that again. So what happens when you take your foot off the clutch too quickly. Right, that was much better. We're going to go past, and just have a very quick look and see if we can follow up on those 2 Birmingham boys and that young female that were feeding on the buffalo carcass earlier this morning. We're a little bit of a way off. Like I said, we're going to put foot a little bit. It's lovely as we are just driving along at those beautiful crepuscular rays that are coming through the clouds. I don't know if you can see them to the right. Look at that. Isn't that magical? So beautiful. I'm just going to try and find out about these two Birmingham boys and that female. I think Jamie has found what she's looking for.
Look at what we have here. Isn't this absolutely magical? All 8 healthy, happy, bouncy Nkuhumas. There's one little one, and it's always you. Yes, it's always you. Peeking at me. You're so curious. And so very, very brave. Yes. You're going to get into trouble, little one. It's here. It's come to the worst possible position, but there's this little lion cub that's come to explore. You can just see it over there, and it's been stalking me since we arrived. Not stalking, that's not quite right. It's not been actually stalking. It's been wandering over with curiosity in its expression. Hello. Going to rejoin the game. Decided we're actually quite boring and probably a little bit smelly, and would much rather go and join in the pride of its little mates. Look at you. Oh, they are so incredibly gorgeous. Right, I said we would discuss what happened with the lion prides. I've only just discovered this now, but apparently reports are coming through from Nkoro that yet another Styx cub has died. So we are with the Nkuhumas. The Styx pride are the other lion pride that we spend a lot of time with. A very, very sad moment, I think, for all of us. The poor Styx cubs just lay down in the wrong patch of soil, and unlike our happy little Nkuhuma cubs, they contracted mange. We don't really know exactly where the mange infection came from, but it has decimated, I think it's safe to say, the poor Styx pride. And they started out with 8 cubs as well. It looks as though they are now down to 4. And the only positive thing I can say, I mentioned this the other day on Drive, is that whilst it is terribly sad, I can't help but feel a little bit relieved that those cubs are no longer suffering. There's still 4 left, and hopefully now, with the extra resources not having to be shared around, they will be healthy enough and fed up enough to be able to battle that mange infection. Very sad. On a happier note, the Nkuhuma cubs are not showing any sign of mange, and they are looking massive, some of them. Little cubs are growing at the rate of knots, as they are wont to do, and practicing those all-important playful skills that will then turn into hunting skills one day when they're big and fierce. But for now, they are utterly adorable. They are just too gorgeous for words. Climbing all over the poor lionesses. They don't give the lionesses a moment's respite. Jumping up and down on top of them, using them as jungle gyms, using them as play practice. Sharp claws and sharp teeth. Those of you who've had puppies or kittens in your lifetime and raised them, you know just what they can be like. Just one of them I imagine a lion cub, because despite their small size, they are now bigger than house cats, some of them, and they are seriously strong, and they've got very sharp teeth and very sharp claws. What are you doing with your foot up there? Having a good stretch? Aha! Caught a log. Well done. Yes, you show that log. Luckily, the bush has no shortage of chew toys. Oh, problem solving. Oopsie. Almost. Like a dog trying to go through a doggy door with something in its mouth. This cub hasn't quite figured the logistics out yet. They are too gorgeous for words. Look at you carrying your stick around so proudly. Karen in Tennessee, lovely to hear from you. And a fantastic question coming through. You wanted to know what happens to the male lions when they grow up. Would they grow up and join the Birmingham boys? And do female cubs stay with their mothers for the rest of their lives? So you've got absolutely with the female cubs, they do stay with their prides. Essentially, a pride is the guardian of the genetic line, and the females will grow up. They'll stay with a pride. Every now and again, you get a situation where a pride of lions actually splits, and that's for various reasons, whether it's during a coalition takeover or perhaps the pride has got so large that they can't all manage to stay together and feed together, so they start to split into different directions. Male cubs, on the other hand, when they reach sexual maturity, they will be booted out by their mothers and their fathers. And no, the male lions, when they grow up, generally, it's next to unheard of for them to join the coalition that fathered them, which makes total sense because otherwise they would end up mating with their mothers, their sisters, their cousins, and so the lion world has evolved a way of preventing that inbreeding. Oh, you fall down there. Amazing. So the males will disperse and they will go off in search of their own territory. They will, if they have brothers or cousins, male cousins, from the same litters, then they will head out with them. So they'll form a coalition. That's how the Birmingham boys were formed. If there's only one of them, as was the case with the last Nkuhuma male, Junior, then they will head out and they often hook up with an unrelated lone male lion, young male lion, and form a coalition with them because for male lions, the safety in numbers and the dominance that comes with numbers is worth forming an alliance. Poor mom. Just imagine what this is like for her, because lion cubs, oh, shame. Poor mom. They're not afraid of using their sharp little teeth on her sensitive skin, and they need her with sharp claws, so she just wasn't having any of it. The littlest one's still wanting to come in to feed. Oh, here comes a slightly older one, muscling in there. Now we think with this particular group, what did we say? Was it two males in the older set and one in the younger set? Or did I get it the wrong way around? No, it is. Two males in the older set and one in the youngest set. So they're at least, we think, they're at least guaranteed to have a ready-made coalition when they do reach maturity. If of course, they all survive, and I'm really hoping that they do. The Nkuhumas have proven to be a force to be reckoned with. Sorry, just listen to the sounds of these cubs. Oh, as I said that, they went completely quiet. Fair enough. Plonk. Oh, poor mom. Now, the Nkuhumas if all cubs survive, are going to go from 5 members strong to 13 members strong, and then 10 when their cubs. That's just with the numbers we have at the moment, when the 3 males leave. And you want to know what the largest size is for a lion pride, sustainable size for a lion pride is. I've heard of prides going right up to 40 in number, but then, in that situation, I'm thinking of the mountain pride of the eastern Kruger towards the Lubombo Mountains. But that being said, in that kind of scenario, the pride often sort of half splits. So they're seen together occasionally, but they spend a lot of time in separate groups, moving about in separate groups and hunting in separate groups, so that everybody can be guaranteed of a meal, of having a meal. So I don't know what the exact tipping point is in that kind of scenario. It's not unusual to have prides of up to 20 lions, but out here the average probably sits around 10 or so. 5 to 10 individuals. Sorry guys, I'm just listening to the Game Drive channel. I know there are people that want to come and see the sighting, so I'm just waiting to see who's on their way. Luckily for you, you don't need to worry. The cubs are keeping us thoroughly entertained. Somebody's pinned under a pile of lion cubs there. Feet flying in every direction. Ooh, getting cross. You see those ears back. There's a moment where it turns from play to, hey, you actually hurting me. I'm not happy. That's one of the youngest ones on the right. We've been so incredibly fortunate. For our new viewers who are loving this sighting, we've actually had a chance, along with all of our regular faithful viewers, to watch these lion cubs pretty much not since the day of their birth, but pretty close. They were a couple of days old, the youngest set, when we sat and watched them. Marcy, you want to know, if I got out of the vehicle now and I walked straight towards them, would they attack me or run away? Chances are they would run away. Lions, when they encounter human beings on foot during the day, not at night. At night it's a different story. They've seen something, sorry. They've seen or they've heard something. Okay. Body language relaxed again. Ever so slightly, there's just a subtle shift. She's still watching. But she's also got a lion cub attached to her tail. Right, so lions during the day view us as apex predators for the most part, unless they have learned something different. That is what a couple of thousand years of evolution has ingrained into them. And that's only because we're social beings. One-on-one, we cannot tackle a lion, but I've walked lions before many a time during the day, and most of the time, if you are too close to them, they get up and move away. The thing that makes this situation obviously very unpredictable is the lion cubs that are here. So there's nothing more defensive than a female animal out here with a youngster. And there's all kinds of things that they will do in order to protect their babies. And if they think you are a threat, I think they'd probably run away. But what might happen is one of the females would charge me, and the other mothers would start to shepherd the little ones out of harm's way. You do not tangle with lionesses and their cubs. They're one of the most dangerous creatures that we have out here. They really, truly are. Incredibly protective over their babies. Not, of course, that I would ever do that. The only time that you sometimes encounter them on foot is when you've stumbled into them by mistake. It does happen occasionally. I've done it once or twice, and I definitely not a situation that I want to repeat. Oh, shame. Little ones, you are going to get urinated upon if you insist on suckling whilst Mom is trying to relieve herself. Oh, sorry, I'm busy watching the other cubs. Mom's got up and they're still suckling. having a little bit of a tantrum at the same time, that Mom won't let them feed. Just by the way, Amber Eyes is here as well. She is the lioness. There, she's the lioness at the back there. Oh, hold on. Oh, thorn in paw. I don't know where to look. Sorry, Dave. I'm bouncing all over the place. I just don't know where to look. So many amazing things happening. Amber Eyes is here, plus the 3 mothers. That just leaves the young female who is with the 2 Birmingham boys not too far away from where we are. Look at you. See, that to me is a little girl. You're starting to be able to see the difference between the males and the females. And this, I think, is a little female. She doesn't have the fluffiness that the males have around their heads. I'll try and show you one of the male cubs in a moment. An absolutely beautiful family scene. Jimmy, who is one of our new viewers, we wanted to know what the lion's preferred prey is. The answer to that is it depends on the size of the lion pride that's hunting, and it depends on if they have males with them. So maybe a pair of lioness, for example, they're going to go for something relatively easy most of the time, like a kudu or something similar. Whereas if they are, I'm actually going to look back at the lion cubs just to distract you for one moment. If there are a couple of them, or 5, for example, in this case, 5 adult lionesses, then they will start to target larger animals. The Nkuhumas are exceptionally good at chasing and hunting down buffalo. A male lion automatically adds a massive advantage. He's an extra 100 or so kilograms, an extra 220 odd pounds, and that weight makes an enormous, enormous difference. So catching buffalo and even giraffe will be on the menu for larger lion prides. It just very much depends upon how many lions there are and how many mouths there are to feed. So as the Nkuhumas start to grow in number and grow in strength and these little cubs get big, they will tackle mainly buffalo. There you go. Buffalo takedown skills demonstration right there. Enough of you. I'm going back to Mom or Aunt. Well, the lion cubs gently batter each other over access to the milk bar. Hamad in Tanzania, he wants to know if 2 lions could take down something like a buffalo. Excuse me, I'm talking. Sorry, was I interrupting you? Such noisy creatures. Hamad, yes, it is possible, particularly obviously baby buffalo or female buffalo, but I have heard of 2 lionesses taking down a massive bull buffalo, or a dugger boy as we know them here. It's unusual though, and it is very, very dangerous for them. It's a risky business hunting buffalo at the best of times, and with only 2, they really will struggle. If a lioness weighs, let's say our Nkuhumas weigh about 150 odd kilograms, they're quite big lionesses. Their cubs obviously slightly less. But that's 2 of them together equals about 300 kilograms. A big buffalo bull can be right up to 900 kilograms. That's a massive, massive weight difference. Look at the curiosity on this little cub. I promise you, it's always the same one that comes to investigate. Oh, they're getting so cross with each other. Hello. Yes, hello. can see even now their faces bear the odd scar from the odd scratch and play fight. Look at you. What happened there? Did you get a scratch on the nose? Oh, look at the tick. Ouch. In the nostril. That's okay. That's not going to harm this little cub in any way. That's relatively normal. Hello, Andrew. Good, thanks. How are you? Hi, guys. Go for it. Can you see? Are you going to go through here or are you going to... Okay, perfect. Go ahead. Hopefully while we sit here, we also might have a chance to see the southern boo-boo that's calling off in the trees. It's so cute. Growling at each other furiously. It's so fascinating to watch their instincts at work. Oh, Mom's not having any of it. See that head rub greeting that we see with the adult lionesses? And you watch the cubs and they all do it. And they've started, I've noticed 1 or 2 phlegm and grimacing already. So the adult behavior, the instincts for the adult behavior are all there. It's just a matter of refinement at this point. Bless you, girl.